Okay, we're going to be live in just a moment. Welcome to this lovely Sunday evening or afternoon, depending where some of you are watching us from. It's lovely Sunday night here in the UK on this 24th of April 2022. And my next guest, which if you're tuning on Thursday or even on my social media since then, you will realise that we've got somebody joining us from, he works for many different places in the MMA and boxing world, but from what I know him from, and he can, of course, tell us more about the other ring announcing jobs he does in other promotions. But I know him from the BYB BareKnuckle fighting world. So please welcome to my show the voice of the BYB and apparently the pro-acclaimed youngest ring announcer in the world, Big Mo, joining us from the mountain area in the US. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Good, Mr. Fowler. Appreciate you having me on. Thank you for that introduction.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It's a bit weird, isn't it, having someone else introduce you for a change?
A little bit, yeah. Usually I'm the one playing that role, but
Yes.
that was great.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like that. but how is your Sunday going? Of course, you were up quite late. Well, I say, well, not really late, but I mean, you were watching the boxing last night, and
Oh yeah.
a lot of people were reaching out to you saying you should have been in London in Wembley Stadium doing the ring announcing job instead of the announcer who was assigned for that. But apart from that, though, did you enjoy the fight? Again, I didn't watch it because I knew it was going to be predictable. You know, it's going to be a bit boring watching the same people fight all the time. But you know, the good guy won at the end, didn't they?
Yeah, no, I mean I'm I'm a big boxing fan, obviously, and big Tyson Fury fan, and I like Dillian White too. And I knew it was going to be a great fight, and it was amazing to watch. I mean, it was one of the better productions that I've ever seen. But yeah, I got some messages from guys saying that I should have been the announcer, but they got Jimmy Lennon. I love Jimmy Lennon, so but a lot of my fans and followers want to see me on that kind of a stage and platform, and obviously I do too. So one day we just got to keep working, and I'll get there.
Yeah, one day indeed. And you know, as I say, every small steps helps you get more opportunities in some major places. And you know, you're a very busy guy. You know, you're working most weekends. And the thing I like about you is as well, I never seen this before, and I could be wrong. This might not be a new thing or what, but you like to wear sunglasses in the ring or whatnot. How did that start, and when did it catch on for you? And when did other people say you should keep at that?
Yeah, so the sunglasses for me, it's more so just kind of become part of my brand. I'm not glued to them by any means. Like if a promotion asks me to take them off, I might give them a little bit of resistance, but if that's what they want me to do, then I'll do it. But basically, how it started is I was announcing for a show early on in my career, still announced from today called Sparta Sports Entertainment here in Colorado. And one day we were doing a show at like a fairgrounds park, and it was at the end of the afternoon. I think we started the show at like 5, so the sun was kind of coming in.
Gotcha.
And so it was like having trouble seeing, and so I wore sunglasses. And then I think one or two people thought it was kind of cool, and then I was like, yeah, maybe I should just keep wearing them. And then it kind of became part of my brand, and then a lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people did like it. And now it's kind of solidified itself. And yeah, like I said, it's just kind of part of what I do.
Well, no, I not just only that, but it helps you to, grab the attention for you, our other ring announcers. It separates you from the pack as well, something different.
And that's a big thing. Yeah. No, that's a big thing. It's not necessarily trying to grab attention. That's not really my focus, but you're correct in what you said. Like, I think that despite there being very few announcers in the world, I would say, of professional ring announcers across all sports in the world, there may be 100. I mean, really, it's a very niche industry, but a lot of them, they are kind of just the same. I think there's very few that stand out. There's very few that, kind of go beyond just getting up there and reading a name. And I like to be more of an entertainer. I like to be more of a personality. I like to engage the crowd. I like to have the energy going. And so the sunglasses, you're right, it does kind of, it stands out, and I think it catches a lot of people off guard. But once they hear me announce it, it doesn't really. It's just kind of what I do. Then it's no longer, oh, that's the guy that wears sunglasses. It's now, oh, that's Big Mo. He happens to wear sunglasses. That kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt, no, most definitely I agree with you there. And I have been enjoying because as well, like when you do any interviews on other places, you always, most of the time, you have that lovely background behind you. And I'm just curious. I'm sure many people might be curious to know what are you sitting behind, and what do they mean to you?
Yeah, so no, I just it's cool. Like I've gotten a lot of compliments on them. I found an artist online, and I actually, you know what, I want to give him a shout out on this
Yeah,
platform. So
please
give me
do.
a second. So I was looking for this art,
This is
and
live. This is live, people. So
this
my
is
guest
live.
doesn't
No.
know.
I gotta give love to the guy,
And
man. He
nobody
doesn't.
knows
I
my
don't. I
questions
don't know.
either. So this is what we call on the spot, people. So
Oh, where
you
is
don't
it?
get
Where
this
is
on
it?
any other
Where is
show, I bet.
it? Oh no, I gotta show the man some love.
Of
He's an
course,
incredible, credible
and again, this is a
artist.
show where you can drop as many plugs as you like, because we're always welcoming to the great people who help yourself or inspired you as well. So obviously, this
Oh yeah,
person
for sure.
has definitely
Oh
got your
man,
attention for the good reasons.
yeah, no, it's oh man, come on now. I'm having it's deep in my DMs, but basically I found this artist online that does these canvases of boxing gloves, and he does this collection where it's like different like fashion brands and designer brands, and obviously I love clothing, I love fashion, and so I got like kind of four of the pieces that he does. It's like just different designs of boxing gloves. I think they're eye catching. I think they're unique, and I think that they're a couple things that I like, which
Yes.
is boxing, fighting, and I also like
Mm.
fashion and things like that. So,
No, I agree, and they do stand out, and that's why when I was looking at your work before I reached out to to the people who you associate with, I wanted to make sure uh, that I want to ask that question. I don't think you get asked that on many interviews. I don't think, well, from the I watched anyway.
no,
So
no, they're rather new, so I
yeah.
appreciate it.
No, you're welcome, because I want to ask different things. Hopefully, the audience here will learn something new and learn more about you as a
Yep,
person than what you do in the ring, because we all know what you do in the ring, and
exactly.
we're going to shake it up a little bit here. But no, I mean, they are quite good paintings, and I hope that you get more artwork from your friend.
Yeah, no, I might get a couple more. I might want to fill out the whole wall a little bit. I don't know.
Nice.
I'm gonna play around with it, but I love his stuff. I think it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. And if you do find his DM, by the way, please do plug it
Yeah,
as
yeah,
we go
for
along
sure.
here. But I want to know as well, like, how do you keep yourself, different from the other, ring announcers you may see in other sports? Like, what is your kind of, signature catchphrase, if you have one, or the way you go about to make sure you are quite, different from others? Means you stand out in that sport on what you're helping
Yeah,
to promote for the company, or help to get across to the viewers who are tuning in to, like, for example,
yeah,
BYB.
yeah. So a couple ways I like to stand out in terms of catchphrases. I really have two, believe it or not. I like to start the show with a catchphrase. I like to start the show with a lot of energy, and I think that there's few announcers that do that.
Hmm.
So I start mine with, wherever I'm located, I'd say XYZ, can you hear me? And then they'll, get a little rumbling, and then I'll do it again, but it's more animated. Can you hear me? Things like that. And then that kind of sets the tone for the show a little bit. I think that gets the energy going from the get-go,
Mm.
opposed to, which is what a lot of announcers do. And there's nothing wrong with it, but they slowly ascend to, ultimately a main event. I like to get the energy as high as possible and keep it there
Gotcha.
throughout the entire show. Because the thing is that, even though some fights may be undercard or maybe not the main event, they're still great fights. They still deserve energy. There's still fans in the arena for those people. So I like to get the energy going there. And then my catchphrase for the main event is get wild. I do like a full main event intro. Again, kind of really stir up the suspense, kind of build everything for the main event. But a big thing too is I like to address the crowd directly. whenever you hear me announce, I'll say, "This is your main event." Can you hear me? Things like that. And so I think that, my focus when it comes to announcing is I really focus on the atmosphere that's being created. Basically, I look at it as the fighters are going to do their job. The referee's going to do his job or her job. The judges are going to do their job. I think my job is to set the stage. My job is to entertain. My job is to, hype up the crowd, hype up the fight, get the fighters energized, things like that. So I think that I play a very important role. I think the announcer plays a much more important role than people may recognize. And I think the reason why a lot of people don't recognize the importance of the announcer is a lot of announcers just don't, I don't think that they excite people as much as they should, if that makes sense.
No, it does make sense. Yeah, I get that. I've seen that in many shows I've seen where they should have had a much better energy, not just for the audience, but for the fighters who are coming out, kind of thing as you
Right.
said before. And the thing as well that I like is you're able to do things which is really good. Some names you can just do really well compared to other ring announcers from other sports. I mean, it puts you up there, in the top three with the Michael Buffers and the Bruce Buffers out there, and any other great announcer who I've not said who you think should be on that. Mount Rushmore, as they say. But I mean, you do a great job, and I'm sure maybe those two announcers I mentioned there might have inspired you. But I mean, if they, who inspired you to become a ring announcer?
No, those two are the ones. And the biggest reason why, and I've talked about this before, but I want to be the best. I want to, be as high of a caliber of announcer as I can be. And so I think with that, I have to kind of set my goals, and if I had to have idols or influences, then I want those to be the best announcers of the era of all time. And I believe that the Buffers are the best. I think that they both bring unique styles. I think that they both have different energies, of course, that I think fits their character and fits their personality. So yeah, those two would be the ones that influenced me the most, for sure.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And, it's like Bruce Buffers is what, I think he's 60s. And then, but the main event of the evening, he's always jumping up and down. It's like, whoa,
Exactly.
you need to cool down a little bit because I don't know if I'm having a heart attack on live TV because
Exactly.
of all that energy and him jumping up and down like he's, in his 30s. That's how you think. But no, he does a very good job, doesn't he? And of course, Michael Buffer, the legend, the GOAT of all ring announcing with his signature catchphrase of them all. But I mean, how did you get started then, really? Because it's like,
Mhm.
did you came across it on, the internet, radio, or magazines or whatnot to get your foot in the door, or did you come across it by mistake?
So, I wanted to work in entertainment for a long time, which I actually believe is the categorization of an announcer, or what the announcer I believe should be. So I wanted to work in entertainment for a long time, and I was a college football player. And at the end of my football career, I started doing a little bit of public speaking events, hosted a couple of banquets and shows and things like that, like crowds of like 50 to 100 people. But I recognized pretty quickly that I was a very comfortable speaker. A lot of people get freaked out by it. Public speaking is the number one fear amongst young people. It bothers a lot of individuals. It doesn't bother me. I love it. And so, I had friends that came to me and said, "Hey, have you ever thought about trying sports commentary?" Because it made sense. I was an athlete, I was a good speaker, I knew the game, but at the time I was so burnt out of football and basketball and team sports. But I was kind of intrigued by the idea. So I was like, all right, well, like what else could I explore? And I recognized that I loved combat sports, boxing, MMA, all that kind of stuff. So I reached out to a fight promotion in Denver called Sparta Sports Entertainment, or in Colorado, um, and they brought me on as a commentator. And yeah, and so it kind of just started off as me being a color commentator. They had me be more of the energy, more of the they had a good play-by-play guy. I obviously wasn't as technical or didn't know as much about the sport at the time, so I
Gotcha.
was more of the color individual. And yeah, so I was a commentator, but I saw the ring announcer, and I was like, I can do that. I was like, that's more my lane. That's more my alley. So I, kept bugging the promotion to let me announce, let me announce, let me announce, and they finally let me do it. And the rest was history. Then I
Yeah.
became the announcer for their show. Then I became the announcer for another show, and then progressively kept becoming the announcer for multiple shows. And here we are.
Yes, indeed. As you say, the rest is history. Can we
Yeah.
mention as well, because you mentioned about you play college football, can we mention
Mhm.
what team or college did you play for?
Yeah. Yeah. I played for the University of Northern Colorado
Okay.
in Greeley, Division One AA, Big Sky Conference. So yeah.
Nice, nice. Do you
Yeah.
still support them today, even though you've
Oh, of course. Go
left?
Bears all day.
That's good to hear.
Yeah,
That's
no,
good.
definitely still a big supporter of the program. Still love going to games when I can, when I have some time. So yeah, no, I still support the team for sure.
That's good. That's good to hear. Do you support any other local teams or any national teams or just them?
I'm a big UCLA fan. A lot of my family went to UCLA, so I always kind of grew up watching them. So of colleges, I would say those two. But then I'm a fan of pro sports. I'm a Lakers fan for basketball, Broncos fan for football. So
Boo.
yeah. So yeah, no, it's weird though, like I don't watch I mean, I still watch sports a lot for sure, but I'm not like a diehard sports fan like I used to be growing
Mm.
up. And I think it's just because I played them for so long that I just eventually just I kind of got tired of watching them, because I lived it every day. I played it, but that's why I primarily focus on combat sports now. I love watching MMA and boxing and those types of sports. So that's what I watch now.
Fair enough. No, don't blame for that at all because it's very passionate and it's something close to your heart which you enjoy to watch and not just watch but
Of course.
also get to be in the ring with him and or the octagon, what you want to call it, to actually be there, right next to him basically. And have you ever been worried about getting too close to a fighter before a match? Because sometimes these fighters look very angry, very scary to get just get in there. Do you feel a bit worried about them maybe hitting you by mistake or something during the pre-hype or anything like that?
No, man, I love when the fighters interact with me, and I love getting close to the fighters or when the fighters meet me in the middle of the ring type of thing. I love all that. I'm never really afraid of it. And the fighters like to give me fist bumps sometimes. And so no, I love being close to them. I know they're not going to hit me. I mean, it's that would be a little ridiculous.
Well, never say never, but I mean, you never know.
Yep.
Have you
Yep.
have you have you ever thought of becoming a fighter? Because of all these great fighters you get to hang out with, probably before the show, or maybe even in the ring, and you think, wow, because I've got you got the heights and you got the size and everything for it. Have you ever thought of becoming a fighter yourself, or you better not?
I mean, I've thought about it. It's mostly a time thing at this point. I mean, I work a lot and I'm really focused on becoming an announcer right now. So, dedicating myself to learn that sport because I have a martial arts background. First sport I did was actually Shotokan karate. Did it for about 8 years of my life.
Nice.
I got to train with some amazing people. So I have that martial arts background, but right now I really would have to reteach a lot of it. I would have because I haven't done it in you know a decade and a half or
Wow.
whatever it is now, a decade. But, it's just been a while since I've
Yeah.
done it. So it's mostly a time thing. I like training it. I like still doing stuff like that for cardio. But injuries sustained during football, my body's a little worn out. So maybe one day I get back into it. But right now the time crunch is a little too much.
Yeah, no, I get you for that, and don't blame you. I think you would rather protect your face because that's where the money is at the moment for you. So I can totally agree with you there. I should
Yeah.
also say as well because on your profile, especially on Instagram, it says you're also an actor slash voice actor. Can we discuss that as well, or is that something we can't
Yeah.
discuss? Okay, we can discuss that. So
No.
so
No, we can.
have you been doing that longer than your ring announcing, or did you start your ring announcing before you went into the acting and voice acting world? And how's it going for you?
The ring announcing was first. The ring announcing kind of allowed me to get my foot in the door with the entertainment industry, like I said, and then the ring announcing then turned into voice acting, and then the voice acting turned into acting. Just finished a TV show.
Oh,
Finished a TV
nice.
show in, I want to say, early December. Right now, I'm still waiting to see if my scene kind of made the cut.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed. But then, that's part of the game. So hopefully it makes it through. The TV show will be on Hulu probably in a few months if I had to guess, but who knows? So yeah, no, I really enjoy acting. I would love to do more of it. Unfortunately, I'm in a city where there's not a ton of acting work. There's just not a lot of filmmaking in Colorado.
That's true.
So maybe one day, I can dedicate more time to it. Like I said, I love doing it though.
Or what you could do is just move to Los Angeles or Canada. And
Yeah,
just and
thought
just
about it.
and just fly, from there and there to your boxing or MMA events. Simple, easy. But I mean,
Yeah, no,
obviously there's more
that would
work into
be,
that than just doing that, obviously. But yeah.
of course. No, that's definitely a distinct end road for me as well.
Nice, nice. Well, we can't wait for that. And if your scene does get in the final cut, then hopefully you'll be promoting it on your social media when
Yes,
you get
of course.
announced when it's going to be coming out. I look forward to hopefully seeing a snippet of it on your social media, or even hopefully a full clip if they allow you to do that in the future, because it'd be quite good to see what the hell it is you did in December and
Yep.
to see how it came out. You got me enticed now. Um,
Yep.
throughout this podcast, of course, we've been promoting your social media on the screen, and again, you can find Big Mo on Facebook. For some reason, I couldn't tag you on there, so I apologize for that. But I did use a hashtag Big Mo instead. But I did tag you on Twitter, Big Mo _official, and of course, Instagram official.bigmo on
Yep.
Instagram. Where you got a good following on Instagram at the moment with 11.5k followers on there, which is quite good. When did you know that your ring announcing and your acting was taking off, when you were building a community? When did you think you had a community?
That's a good question. I think I'm more so, I don't know, pretty quickly, to be honest. I mean, even when I had a smaller following, I built a smaller following pretty quickly. I think that I engage well on social media. I know how to leverage it and use it and build a community and stay engaged with people. I always respond to DMs. I'm very active in the community. I comment on other posts and things like that. So, I learned that I had a community pretty quickly. I learned that people, even though I was more raw, I guess for lack of a better word, when I started, I definitely, looking back, I mean, I've gotten much better very quickly, to be honest. Even back then, though, I think a lot of people did enjoy my work and did engage with it. So yeah, no, it's pretty quickly I recognized that this was working and that this had some legs.
Nice. That's good to see, because I do hope it continues to grow for you, because you're doing amazing work. And I'm liking the snippets you're posting, especially on Instagram. You're being announcing when you get up in person with the fighters beforehand, and we're going to see some of the incredible announcements you make, especially with the war of your R's and other letters as
Yep.
well. Bit jealous, I can't do that, but again, you got the real talent there. Did you have to practice to do those, to wall the R's off, or was it natural to you?
It was very natural. I actually, I could do it as long as I could remember. I remember I took a Spanish class in high school and I was able to do it back then. So I've been able to do it forever. And the rolling the R's thing, I think, is kind of cool. It's kind of unique. I
It
even
is.
roll the R's when they're not supposed to be rolled. Like, there's only certain words and certain names in the Spanish language that have the R's be rolled. But I roll the R's kind of in everything because it just, again, it sounds unique.
Yeah.
It kind of catches people's attention, which is kind of the whole point of being an announcer.
That's true. Did you get any? Have you got any feedback from the fighters afterwards, saying thanks for rolling the R's, or thank you for doing this better
Oh, they
than
love it.
anybody else has done it for me in the past?
Oh, they love it. And I get DMs from fighters all the time about how they're excited to have me announce them, which is an honor for me because, these fighters, their careers, they get few opportunities really in the ring. Like, when you think about it, like a professional fighter and even an amateur fighter, they only have so many fights in them. Like, there's only so many fights that they can have. So the fact that they are excited to have me announce one of them or two of them or however many of them, like that's an honor for me because I get to be a part of their career that, like I said, they're only in the cage, they're only in the ring live so many times.
That's true. Yeah, because they train for like 6 or 8 weeks, maybe a bit longer, and
Right.
they might only fight, 3 times a year, maybe a bit more than that.
Exactly.
But that's about the minimum you see them. So yeah, that's definitely agree with you there. And who are some of Who are some of the fighters you love to introduce? Have you got any favorites, or do you love all the fighters you get to introduce?
I I like them all. I really don't have favorites per se. I have ones that I've announced multiple times, so we kind of have a good energy going. But I have no favorites with fighters, man. I mean, I'm friends with a lot of them outside of the ring and the cage for sure. But in terms of like having preferences, no. I just try to do everything that I can to make every introduction special. So
Yeah, no, get that, no, get that. And recently you've reposted the upcoming bare knuckle fighting series schedule over the next coming months, and there's some exciting
yep,
dates, isn't there? Including coming to for the first time, I think it's coming to October to London, the O2.
yep,
So I'm
yep.
guessing you'll be coming to London O2 as well. Will it be your
Oh yeah,
first time?
it will. It'll be my first time. I think I've only been in London for a connecting flight, so I've
Oh
never
right, okay.
actually gotten to experience. Yeah, I've never got so no, I've never been to London basically,
Fair enough.
and I am so pumped for that. London has definitely been on my, it's on my bucket list of places to go, and so I'm excited to go there. And the O2 Arena is, iconic and things like that. So I'm pumped, man. It's gonna be really really cool.
It will be, and I hope that you get to experience what true passionate fans enjoy. Because you've probably
Yeah,
seen
definitely.
loads of videos and loads of. There was like last night, for instance, in front of 94,000 people at Wembley Stadium. You saw the
Yep.
electricity coming through that stadium. So I'm sure when you see that in the O2 this October, then you're gonna get the what real fans are like in Europe. But
Exactly
anyway,
right. Exactly
but,
right.
but I mean, are you going to do anything special for the fans here in London, or are you going to keep it top secret until you get there in October?
Well, I can't give away my plan and my preparation for everything. Come on, Edward, you know that. No, I look, I put on a show every time, and I think that every time I announce, I feel like I get incrementally better, or that's the goal at least. So, I'm gonna be, from now until that show, I'm going to be a better announcer by
Mm.
then, in my opinion. Whether it's, fractionally or, maybe I change something up significantly, I'm going to be a different announcer. And that's what's been so exciting about my career is, I mean, I've developed really quickly, and I think that I found my voice really, really fast. And the thing is like, yeah, I talk about being the youngest in the world and things like that. And yeah, that's kind of been a moniker that's just kind of carried with me, but it's the truth because I'm so young and so fresh in this industry that I think I can be almost molded into a really, really strong announcer. And so my thing is I pay attention to what the fans want. I pay attention to what the fans resonate with. So I may discover something about my announcing career in the next month, and by the time I'm in London, I might be using that as part of what I do. I don't know.
Fair enough.
So no, in terms of secret plans or secret prep or anything like that, nothing really. It's just it's going to be just entertaining a different and a really passionate group of people.
Yeah, because we love our football, so that's why we're very
Yep.
passionate in other sports, so you can probably tell. Um,
Yep.
but I mean, some of us are glad that we don't support any of the London clubs, apart from, of course, because what's recently going on in London with Arsenal, getting above us Manchester United fans. So, so we're not very happy about that. But there you go. So let's talk about as well, like what you do in a day as well, because
Mhm.
it gives an insight for your fans. I'm sure not many people probably know what you do on a daily basis. So what is your kind of day looks like for you then when you are on the road and when you're not on the road? Is there any differences or not too much?
I mean, when I'm on the road, when I'm doing shows, I'm a very routine person. So when I do a show, typically shows are on Saturday, so I like to get in a couple days before. Typically do the weigh-ins the day before the fight, obviously, meet with production, get all my ducks in a row. do my fight cards either on the plane there or maybe the day before the show. And then the day of, it's really about just kind of relaxing, getting everything focused, just chilling for the most part, doing a little bit of work where I can, engaging on social media where I can, things like that. But really, it's just about kind of just staying even keel with everything. I think, and that's the part that, I think I'm not sure if a lot of people understand, but me taking the approach of being more of as an entertainer, I have to be very outgoing, very charismatic, very passionate for an extended period of time. And that can be draining for some people. I like it. I'm a fairly extroverted guy. But I recognize that, when I announce, I'm like, I have to be 100%. I have to be Big Mo. I have to have this energy to me for an extended period of time. And it's kind of draining. So the whole day I kind of spend just preparing, just focusing, just relaxing, things like that.
I'm guessing as well you must have like a voice prep you do beforehand or something to warm your voice up because
Yeah.
have you ever had lost your voice before any of these events during or even afterwards
No,
after
I have. And that was so in the beginning of my career, before I kind of found my voice, I was very throaty with
Gotcha.
everything. And the problem with that is it's more so yelling than anything else. And that's not what you want to do. One, because it doesn't sound as good. It doesn't sound as good through a microphone either. But also, two, you will lose your voice. Like I would lose my voice at the end of every show. So then progressively, I started learning a little bit how to, speak more from my diaphragm, engage my abdomen, things like that. And that's when I kind of learned more so how to, what I like to call throwing my voice, to where if I want to get someone's attention that's, a distance away from me, a lot of people would yell at them. I really actually found that I don't need to do that because I know how to take my voice and just make it louder,
Gotcha.
but not change it, if that makes sense.
No, it does make sense. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
So vocal warm-ups are important. They kind of help me enunciate too, which is a big thing that I focus on. So yeah, I do vocal warm-ups typically while I'm getting dressed, while I'm ironing my clothes, things like that.
Did you when you first started to do the vocal warm ups, did you have like a mentor, anybody teaching you what to do, or did you go on Google, or did you speak to a professional to give you some
Um,
guides to look at, or
no, so I've worked with a vocal coach one time, pretty briefly, but still got some good exercises from them. I would like to find maybe a more consistent coach that I could work with more frequently. So maybe one day. But no, most of the exercise that I do, I was taught from that coach originally, but then I found some more on the internet that I think helped me. So mostly self-taught, I would say.
that's fair. No, I just wondered just to see how you learned the best because everyone works differently, don't they, and learn differently. So
Of course.
and that's what works for you, which is quite good to see. And I'm glad you don't lose your voice anymore. That's the main thing.
No,
Because I know what
definitely
you
not.
mean. But like when I attend the shows and you do a lot of shouting, at the end of it you lose your voice. So if we all learn how to prep our voices better, then we won't lose our
Mhm.
voices for shouting or screaming and whatnot, or even just cheering along, isn't it? Really. So, but no, it's good thing to learn. I have to say. Where in the world would you want to, showcase your talents in front of? Then you got London ticking off. You've been to. Is it been Dubai? You been to Dubai?
Yep, been to
Yeah, you
Dubai.
been to
That was
Dubai. Yeah.
amazing. So I mean, no, like I think for me, like I really just want to announce on as big of a platform as I can. I want to entertain as many people as I can, whether that's at Madison Square Garden or whether that's at a giant fairgrounds where they happen to put up a fight, but 50,000 people show up. I have no idea. So yeah, I mean, I do have the iconic arenas. I would love to do Madison Square Garden. I would love to do Wembley. I would love to do um, some of the maybe the AT&T Stadium in Dallas, those kind of arenas I would love to announce in front of course.
Oh yeah, most definitely because the AT&T Stadium, the home of the Cowboys, and of course, home of another event which happened a few weeks ago. They sold out the arena both nights, and of course, the Dallas Cowboys are always selling out for their games, aren't they? And I'm sure it'll be a great host
Yep.
for any MMA or boxing event. I don't know if any have been there before. I could be wrong, but not to my recollection. I've never seen a boxing MMA event happen in the AT&T.
Yeah, I think they did. No, they did Canelo's. One of Canelo's recent fights there. Yeah.
Okay. I must have missed that one, but at least they've done one before. Then that's the main thing.
Yep.
Was it a good turnout?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's Canelo,
Well, you never know. You never know. Dallas, Texas. Sure. They can be quite funny people sometimes. Even though they like to do everything on a handshake, don't they? But did you do much handshaking if you go to Dallas? Because if you say I'm going to do this, you have a shake on it, because as they say, a man of your word kind of thing.
Yeah, well, of course, handshake deals, man, it means a lot.
But I mean, you're in, Denver, Colorado. Of course, the weather isn't always the best in Denver, is it? Because we get a lot of snow there and whatnot. Have you got a favorite season you like?
Probably spring or summer. I don't like the cold, man. I like warmer weather.
Don't blame you for that one. It gets very snowy down there, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then on your downside as well, is there anything you do on the downside? Do you watch any TV shows? Do you listen to any music? If you do, what kind of stuff do you watch or listen?
Yeah, no, I love watching TV and movies. I'm a big movie buff. Love listening to music. Like to cook occasionally. So yeah, I mean, I work out. I work out pretty.
Yes,
I live a very active. Excuse me. Live a very active lifestyle. So yeah, I just like to stay busy. I like to do a lot of things. So,
what is some of your favorite music genres you like then? Let's see whether your fans will agree with you when they see this.
Yeah, no, I have a very wide variety of music taste. I love classic rock, but then I also love rap. I also love EDM. I pretty much like every type of music, with the exception of maybe heavy screamo. But again, I still even like, a lot of metal and things like that. So I pretty much like everything. It just depends on the mood that I'm in.
Yeah. No, I get that. There is one other question I want to ask you to do with something else. You have been posting on Instagram and whatnot of a thing you're involved in. I can't remember what the word is for it. But I think it begins with an N. And I've heard it for many times, but I have not got a clue what it actually means or you do with it. Do you know what I'm talking about, by the way?
No, I'm not. It starts with an M?
Oh, no, N. With an N.
N.
Yeah, it's like, I think where it is on your profile. I think you've shared it before. It might be in one of your stories, which you posted before.
N.
Yeah. You've screenshotted
now you have me curious.
you've screenshotted it before, and then you posted it in your story about it. I'm trying to see if I can find it, because I was just interested to see if you could tell us what it means, and because I've heard it in many other places, but I didn't have a good idea what actually it does or helps with anything. Let's see if you posted it on your Twitter account. If not, I have to come back to it next time we have you on the show, because
yeah, all good. I'm not 100% sure what you're talking about, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, because you post it quite often, and I don't. It looks like it's a part of Twitter, but it's not a part of Twitter. It's just like a similar background and whatnot to it. But let's see. I'm just going through your Twitter account just to see if you posted it on here very often. But I don't think you have. Anyway, never mind.
Whatever.
Never mind on that one. Unless, hang on, what's this? You just click this link. That's a YouTube video, no problem. No problem about that. But yeah, sorry about that. But I will get back to that next time you're on, because I really want to know more about that and how that's going for you. Anyway. But my last question to you on this show before we let you go, because we're approaching the 45-minute mark, which you say you want to be done for, so I'm keeping the time here. Who would you suggest to me to have on this show after yourself today?
That is a good question.
Thank you. Yeah,
I mean, some of
that's the question I like to end with, because it's always good to hear what my guests think about possible guests.
I I mean, you are based in England, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, so then I think the logical one would be one of the BYB fighters or one of the BKB fighters, because I know we kind of do our crossover events with them. So that one might make sense. I don't really know necessarily specifically which ones, but we'll figure it out.
We will figure it out.
When I think of some ones to have you get on, I'll shoot you a DM.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, most definitely. But yeah, it's been a pleasure having you on this very show, Big Mo. I hope that you enjoyed the questions. I hope they were a bit different from what you're usually asked, because I know.
I did. No, I liked it a lot. Thank you for the interview, man.
No, you're welcome. Because again, I like to change it up, because again, you might get bored. The people who tune in to watch these probably get bored of you getting asked the same questions or asked in a different way. So hopefully some of them were a bit different than what you usually expect. That's how we do it on this show. But I hope you will come back on again, because it's been fun having you on the show, and I hope that you'll be on the show before October, before coming to London, so we can hype up the card and the massive audience which will go to the O2 in London. Do you know, by the way, when the tickets go on sale for that, or do we just keep to BYB social medias for that information?
Tune into BYB social medias. I'm not 100% sure when those will go on sale.
That's fine. And I should mention as well, is there anything you want to get off your chest, which I might have forgot for you to plug, or anything you want to plug or anything before we end this?
No, I mean, I thank you to you, Mr. Fowler, for having me on your show.
You're welcome.
Really, really appreciate the opportunity. Make sure you guys follow me on social media. That's where you guys can, who's ever watched this interview, that's where you guys can stay up to date with me and track what I do and, see the content that I put out. But stay tuned. My career is just getting started. Have some really, really exciting things planned. And again, it's all to entertain the combat sports community.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more with you there, Big Mo. And if you enjoyed the episode, and make sure to like it on YouTube, to share the video around, tell more about who Big Mo is. Hopefully you learn something new, because that's what I try to achieve, to learn something new about my guests all the time. I think it's important to, not just for myself, but you, the viewers, to know more about Big Mo if it's the first time you've ever heard of him, or if you're a fan of his work for years. So there you go. And leave a comment as well. Let me know what you thought of the interview, and any questions or any thoughts you want to put there. I do respond when I do get notified, because sometimes I don't get notified. It'll take me a while before I see it. Oh shoot, didn't know some letter comments. So please do leave a comment. I will get back to you at some point. And if you're new around here, then you should subscribe to this channel with notifications on. Means you'll notified when new episodes comes out, because if you're not subscribed, then why are you not subscribed? This is great content, great people, and there's more to come as the year progresses. And until the next episode drops, enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoon or night.